Okay.
Oh, what the? Where did this all come from? All you've written was topics.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sam and Ant Talks.
Come on, do better. At least actually have a title for it.
Yeah, this is something we've been meaning to do for quite some time, but we've literally probably pushed it back like 2 years.
Yeah, about that. It's not that we're busy people. Well, no, yes, we are. We're just also very inconsistent.
Yeah, but we'll get to like a Sunday or something and we'll be like, oh, we could always do next week, and then next week
It's been 2 months since we said it last time.
Yeah, and then we went to do it on Wednesday, and the next thing you know, it was like 8 o'clock. And my bedtime is 9.
Yeah, we didn't even do any filming for the massage either, which,
You should just put your phone up like you did last time. The guy with the watering can. Oh. That hurt. You put me through a lot of pain on Wednesday.
Yeah, well, you needed it.
I did.
Yeah,
No.
you definitely did.
The past couple of days, my legs have just been kind of just like, oh, I can't be bothered. I'm too sore from Wednesday.
Good thing the way you've timed it up to like, well, imagine we did the session next week.
Yeah.
Leading up to States.
We probably couldn't. It wouldn't work.
That's
That's why I've got a massage this week and not next week. I was contemplating doing one next week, probably just something light. But
well, actually, I probably could.
I don't know. I think a lot of my issues right now are just neural.
What do you mean?
I'm just tight. Like I just need to stretch rather than trigger. Yeah.
No, I'm triggered. I do.
Let's get into these topics that I jotted down with over the past couple weeks.
I can't read left-handed. I don't know what that is.
I run when I write. I'm running right. That's how it works.
Look, that's enough dad.
Ant and Sam. No, that's not a topic. Heading into States.
Well, how are you feeling coming into it?
Well, let's talk about you first.
Well, I've been off for a month with a bit of lateral meniscus irritation. Good thing it's not a tear. Let's hit the physio on Tuesday, and we just gonna get put through the same range of motion and see how it's going. I'll be at States, but I'm just gonna be watching you guys, and that's it. So, you know, there is a cheer squad, and that's about it.
Cheers, squad. You got some poems?
No, but I do have a mini skirt.
Mini skirt. You see like the police rock.
Right.
They're just like dragging you out of there. Imagine that.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Well, for yourself, you've had a few nice times very recently, and well, your last race was a bit confusing for yourself. Your last meet, we'll say.
Well, yeah, I ran the 10:53 a couple of weeks ago in Heat 1. I probably won by like half a metre, if that. But I think I was more actually happy with the 10:58, which I ran 2 weeks later on my own. What happened was I was in Heat 1 and I thought they called it back, but they didn't, so I shut off and asked for a rerun. So they let me rerun in like Heat 9.
You just needed to show evidence, which obviously somebody was filming.
Casey's always filming.
Well, there you go.
Alex is like, oh, I'm sure Casey was filming. So I like ran across the whole bloody grounds and all that to Casey, and Casey's like, yeah, pulls out a like SD card, throws it in, whatever, stops everything, stops taking photos just to get me my footage, which was pretty good of her.
Yeah. Chick's on fire. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I ran back to the start line and I was like, here's the footage, and I like went to like show him. He's like, yeah, as long as you have evidence. I was like, okay.
Yep.
He didn't even look.
Here's your evidence, mate.
Yeah, so Alex wanted to run with me. That would have been good. Me and Alex in Heat 9 together.
Imagine that.
We're just battling it out in front.
Would never have
He
happened.
probably would have pushed me to go faster. He ran a 10:48 to take out Heat 1, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. I won't tell him that. He'll go to his head and he'll shit on me.
Basically.
Yeah. So yeah, running a 10:58 on my own was probably.
It's pretty brilliant.
It was surprising.
Nobody to push, nobody to chase. You just
It felt like shit. It felt like I was just kind of like running one of those reps against the clock that you just know is going to come up like half a second slower than you think. I thought it would have been like a 10:8 or something.
I feel like that's every race.
Yeah. Oh, when you have people side by side with you, generally all of that goes out the window and you just think about the race itself.
Well, you haven't done a 200 for a little bit. Are you doing that at States? Or are you just focusing on the one?
I'm doing the 2.
You are doing the
A
2.
lot of people don't realise that 200 is actually my main event.
Yeah, when people take a long time to get up and go, 200 definitely suits them.
Well,
better.
Yeah, I never had a good start. I never thought that I'd have a good start, like at all. As
Here we are,
growing
keeping up with a former Olympian.
You look at my my older stuff, and I literally just got obliterated. And then last season, I just flew out of the blocks. I thought it was a fluke. I like left everyone behind at the
You have
start.
a TikTok with this, don't you?
I do.
Why don't you insert the TikTok video? Plug.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might do that. But yeah, that was when I was coming back through because I put myself in heat like 2. A lot of heat 2s I ran last season just to be able to like fix my head and learn how to win again. Because I'd sit there thinking like it was like this mental like barrier. Like I couldn't even imagine myself winning or anything like that. So once I did that a couple times, I got round to the end of the season running like States and all that, and no one else mattered on the start line.
There you go.
It was quite nice.
That's brilliant.
Mental is everything in this. But yeah, States next week, feeling pretty good. A 10-4 would be lovely, and I'm wanting to head maybe 21-0, if not quicker. All going well.
Wouldn't be out of reach. Yeah, if you run a 10-4 on the day, well then obviously you're going to be able to run a 200 the same weekend in 21-0 or faster. If the maths.
Well, I generally negative split. I generally run a faster split, like average in the 2 than I do in the 1.
You should explain what a negative split is in case people don't know the terminology.
Okay, so pretty much you average it out. You got 2 lots of 100 meters. Just say you run a 10-6 for the 100, but you run a 21, what would it be, 0?
Basically, in a 200, your second 100 of the 200 is faster than the first 100.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There you go. Nice and simple. Chop out the first bit, no kidding.
Cut.
Yeah. Alrighty, yeah, brilliant. Well, yeah,
That'll be good.
I wasn't really looking towards going to States this year, as more just get back on the track and work towards next year nice and early. So that's what the plan is. We just want to get a little bit quicker in the off season and nice and strong, which our good friend Drew over at RSS has been helping me do in the gym, and now we just got to make sure it translates onto the track and get fit again. So.
And you definitely will do that if you come join me
Well,
on the dark side.
I can't say that in front of a camera whether I am or not. I'm not saying yes or no.
Just chase me. Just run around the track and chase me, and then next thing you know, you're up alongside me.
Oh yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
Drops from barely scraping below 12 again to dropping below 11. Imagine. It'd be fun.
Well, there's no one really in the squad, like with.
It's you and
me
Alex.
It's me and Alex, and then.
Yeah.
And then just everyone else is like there's. Don't get me wrong. There's fast people in our squad, but I've kind of like shifted away from that sort of side.
Yeah.
To being, I was always in my own little, like kind of gap.
It was like
There was always
Alex,
Alex, me,
You,
rest of the
the
squad.
rest, yeah. Yeah.
But I've kind of just like shifted forward a bit. I remember when I first went into the off season, at the start of last year, just after nationals, like April last year. Alex turns to me, or he said it to Trav, and Trav said to me, he's just like, am I just shit, or has he stepped up?
Yeah, there you go.
And then Trav's just like, oh, he stepped up. But yeah, I didn't actually realise how much I've actually like moved forward just from like sorting my shit out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keeping consistent with well, actually we will get into this in a little bit. I don't know where you've written it because I can't read left-handed, but
Actually, let's get into that now.
okay.
Social life and partying mixed with athletics.
Just doesn't really work. A lot of people try to get away with it, and of course you got to live life while you're young, but also putting in the hard yards while you're young will always set you up for your future.
Mm-hmm.
and it's just the way it is. You can't really escape it. Late nights out, drinking and, you know, all that, it does a lot more than just make it a little bit unhealthy. It slows down your metabolism.
Yeah.
It adds a lot of, you know, poor intake into your diet, I suppose. Ruins your sleeping pattern, which again just slows down everything. Your immunity's down. You don't recover in time.
You got to choose one or the other. Really.
Yeah.
You can have both. I was thinking the other day, you can have both, but you can't be great.
Yeah.
See, I was still dropping like 10.8s and stuff, averaging like 10.9s when I was going through my phase of like going out too much and all that. But I was never going to get to where I am now if I kept that up.
And even your coach has said the same thing. He's like, he just sorted himself out, made sure he's eating right, sleeping right, not going out, having too much young adult fun, and just knuckling down. And it's paying off, obviously. And next weekend we're probably going to see it pay off even more.
That would be sensational.
Yes.
I actually had a lot of visions at the start of the off season. Just like visions. I had a vision of myself. I was just like walking Alfie. I was walking along thinking, like this song came on, I was just like imagining myself taking out like a heat 1 at a shield meet and running 10.5. And it just happened recently.
Yeah.
So that was pretty weird.
But yeah, back on the socials, like there's a lot of things that you have to sacrifice. People want to go out and do certain things, and you're just like, I can't, man. I'm at training, or I'm at the gym, or
people don't understand. And being, you know, people will probably go like, oh, but you'll always see, say, like rugby league players out in the clubs after a game and all that in the middle of the season. It's, you know, it's probably the same sort of thing, but it's not to that extent, because really the performance is our body.
The difference
not skill
with a rugby player, like athletics is the most explosive sport in the world. That's it. Like there's nothing else that can compares to what we put our bodies through. Rugby players, you know, they have their 80-minute sessions, but they have a big break. They're relying on how the hell many people are on the track. Sorry, on the track, on the field. You know, it's not just them versus each and every person. It's the whole team. They also can sort of mitigate how much alcohol they have in their diets because they're all big people. It's not really going to do much.
Yeah, it's like, just say like a race car, for instance. If you put shitty fuel in the car versus the proper like race fuel, like E85 or whatever, you put an E10 in every now and then, it's not going to run as good as if you put in the same fuel and all the time.
Spot on.
It's like even just like weight. Like you look at some of the, like a lot of rugby league players and just any like sort of like that sort of sport and all that, that 90% of them aren't even that good of a build. They just got size.
Yeah, exactly. Which, you know, a lot of it is what you need to push through your team, your opponent sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a completely different realm to what other like team sports especially have to go through. They have a lot more leeway. They also get paid to perform. Whereas, you know, until you get yourself out there, you build up, you knuckle down for ages, you're not really getting paid to do anything. You know, yeah, you're just doing it.
You can make a
like
lot of money in athletics, but the thing is, athletics, you get money from sponsors, not teams.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, I don't have Casey ringing me up on a bloody Friday morning saying, do you want to sign with us for another 3 years for 500,000?
Imagine, holy shit.
That'd be pretty good. Well, I guess in terms of teams, your team brand. So it's a lot more out there. So you don't look at, say, back to like rugby league, you don't look at them with their shoe brands and all that. They're not like really like pretty much like showing them off and all that, like going like on Team Nike and all that. They just wear the stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas you look at like Noah Lyles, they're like very much high, like showcasing their stuff and all that, and they got like edits and all.
When you are like world champion level or just world class, and people see the brands that you're wearing, of course, it's kind of drawing attention.
Like they get like probably like I think once I heard that like Andre DeGrasse, when he signed with Puma, he got $11 million US from Puma just for that. And then you got all the other stuff. That's how Bolt became so like wealthy.
Yeah,
Realistically, he's the most famous person on the planet. Everyone knows the fastest man in the world. Really?
Yeah, definitely most famous. One of the most famous sportsmen. Like,
I reckon he probably is the most famous.
well, you got all the soccer players as well, or like football.
I don't know all of them.
Yeah.
See, I know like Ronaldo, but you would go up to some other person and the other day you go, you know who Ronaldo is? And I'll go, what?
I reckon.
And then you always hear the saying, oh, I'm going to do a Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
And gash you to the bloody petrol station.
Yeah, fair.
Just stuff like that.
But yeah, it's tricky. All the team sports that. Well, also we don't get very much media exposure. I think that was really good having Fred Curley over here as much as.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, like he's again last year's world champion, and you know would have brought a lot of attention towards our Australian athletes.
Yeah. Well, did you see the crowds?
Yeah, they went off.
It was packed.
It's nuts.
Literally packed. Like we still get those sort of crowds like here and there for like, but we need stuff like that. We need like Nitro back.
Yeah, Nitro
was good.
looked good. Again, it's just
6 years ago.
It's a population thing as well. You know, we're 1/15 or something the size of America. All of our people are on the coastline, and America spans across their entire country through the middle. So there's a lot more people, a lot more money going around into that sort of thing, especially entertainment. Sports being their biggest income, I suppose, for entertainment. It's a bit tricky for us. Less people, less exposure.
Yeah.
There's not going to be as much money in it unless you're top of the line.
I think they probably get the most amount of money regardless, like probably more than Jamaicans.
Americans.
Like you look at, say, like I think Sally Pearson, she would have made a fair amount.
Yeah.
It's just generally you got to be at the top. See, in a lot of sports you can be the best in your country and you're, you know, one of the best known.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but with athletics you could be national champion and it doesn't really mean shit.
Not here, no. Yeah.
No. It does, but it doesn't. But like, look at Browning. He's just in a class of his own.
Yeah, he's the first person in 20 years to run a 10.0.
Yeah.
Or like pretty much a 10 flat. Just doing his own thing. But you brought that attention to me, like how much he has brought in from all of his sponsorships, and I actually didn't believe it until I sussed it out. I'm like, okay, well, if you get yourself there,
yeah,
it's going to be worth it.
That's where all the money comes from it. Like he's done a whole lot of stuff with Puma. True, he probably wouldn't get that much in.
With True Protein, there are a lot of ambassadors from athletics.
I tried to get it with True. Like back at the start, I was like, I do need a sub sponsor, and I was like, it's really hard in our sport because you got it. It's all tested, so there's a lot of brands out there that aren't tested. You walk in a nutrition warehouse, and I was like, what's the go of tested subs here? And they're like, I think it's Gold. Is it Gold?
Is that brand?
Yeah, they're like, that's it, nothing else. Everything else is untested.
That's dangerous.
So Trav was saying he's known athletes, or he's heard of athletes that have been done for untested subs because some of the stuff is made on the same conveyor belt as steroids, and just a hint of that is all it needs. It won't do anything to you, but it'll come up in your test.
Pick up, yeah, because you need to be on a whole cycle and stuff
Then
for it
you're
to
done
do
for
anything.
4 years.
Yep, Mr. Justin. Anyway,
Damn, that chocolate cookies and cream. It was good though. Yeah, actually, someone said to me the other day because I went and got a free shake at my new gym. They were just like, "Oh, I'll get this free shake," and I was like, "Okay." And they were like, "Is it tested?" I was like, "That's a good point." Me going back through the ingredients through the bin.
Oh yeah.
Found it.
Alright, let's jump on to the next thing. We started down.
We actually threw the socials in there, but my next thing was actually nationals, which is kind of just brief.
Yeah. Well, you got what 4 or 5 weeks.
31st is the 100 heats. Finally, it's in Brisbane.
Yeah, the
It's
one
been-
year that I'm not doing it, and it's right here. I get to travel 15 minutes to watch my race that I'm not going to be in. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Sick.
Well, it's been Sydney I think I've done every year.
Yeah, would have been there for the past 4
Yeah, this
years.
is my 6th my 7th nationals,
Holy shit.
including all schools, but that doesn't really count because I went and sat and watched because I tore my hammy.
Nice.
2017 Sydney, 2018 Sydney. That's when I shouldn't have even been there. 2019. That was the one where I like jumped like the top of the leaderboard for 200s in the country, and I had to drive, and I ran like a 23:08
Oh my god.
with like a 21:7 the week before. 2020. That was got off.
COVID, yeah.
2 weeks out. I was like, hey, I have stuffed states because my head was World Junior Qualifiers, Nationals, and I just ran the 200 final at states and like came like third, and I wasn't puffed. I just kind of walked up. I was like, Trav just looked at me. He's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "It's just not on my radar right now."
Fair enough.
But yeah, 2021, that was pretty shit. 2022, it was okay. I've never had a good run in Sydney since 2017, my first one.
It's a long time. And that's the other thing that's hard with our sport. Like, you can put in so much time and effort, and when it comes to the big stages, sometimes you just can't execute, and it's like that for years. You're just stuck.
That's why mental is a big thing.
Yeah,
That's why I say that Asafa Powell never really lived up to his true potential, because when he got to the big stage, he would choke.
The pre-Usain Bolt world record holder, and
A lot of people don't know he was a world record holder.
yeah, and he just couldn't ever do it on the big stage.
On the big stage. Just even like... Oh, I think he got like a bronze or something in 2009.
Was it Worlds?
But he wasn't under pressure to win. That was when Bolt ran 9.5
Yeah, 9.5, yeah.
in Berlin, 2009.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, this is probably my most... Oh, well, I had junior, but my first like actually decent nationals where I'm like looking at being at least somewhat competitive, not just rocking up to run a heat.
Yeah, nice.
For opens.
That's a good feeling as well.
So I want to make... See, the 100's hard because, you know, you could run a 10.5 and just there's a big... Like, it's a select group that go under that.
Yeah.
But there's also a fair, like, size of that group. And it's a big window. Like, I think I'm inside the top 20 in Australia at the moment. But between first and, like, 20th, there might be, like, 0.1.
How do they gauge finals? Is it top 3 from first heats or top 2 from from the semis, sorry, and then the next few fastest, or is it?
So they have the pre-qualification round, which
Yeah.
I ran last year because I was outside. It's the top, I think, 40 go through automatically, and
Semis.
above that, I've got to run a pre-qualification round.
Yeah.
But after that,
The semis into finals.
It'd be heats probably top 3.
Yeah. So it's
Next few, but then it'll be like top 2
and
next 2
Yeah, next 2 fastest.
out of
Yeah.
3 semis.
There you go. Yeah.
That's generally what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which makes it tricky. So hopefully you don't get put up against some freaks.
Some freaks. Yeah, but I want to make a final in the 2. Sub 21 is definitely needed.
There
to do
isn't that many 200 meter runners.
There is nowadays.
Okay.
Like, you could-
guess that wrong.
Like, you could literally run sub 21 and like win nationals. Like when I first got into the sport. Well, but no one was really doing it then. I think Alex was always in a class of his own.
Well, it's the same thing with hurdles as well. Like when I first got into it, there was bugger all people. There was like 4 people in my states final, and just straight to nuts basically. And now all the juniors that have been coming up for a few years, like Taylor Billis, Mitchell Lightfoot. I don't know if you know these guys.
I think so.
But they're quick, and now the hurdles field is just filling up, and we've still got like the old
It's
ducks in
good
there
though.
too. Yeah.
It's good because generally you look at some of like the nationals and you see like the 110 hurdles, and the final is pretty much the heat. Like it's one heat.
Yeah, just go straight through.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think I've ever had to run a heats for hurdles, and it's kind of annoying because you always do better after you warm
You
up.
want rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you can see how you're feeling on the day, and then if you get another chance, you're like, cool, I can fix this and this and this.
Yeah, definitely. Here's an interesting one. Impacts that relationships have on training and competition.
Yeah, it's
Even just your family as a whole.
or
Because
just people that are around you a lot. People that have a bit of emotional, control,
impact, yeah.
if that's the right word.
Well, yeah. See, if something happens and it's to do with them, or like, they act a certain way and all that, some things can throw you well off.
Yeah, I think, you and I both respond to this sort of thing pretty similarly. We've both had similar experiences and deal with things a little bit specific to one another.
Yeah.
Things can pop up and it really can throw you off if you just can't shake the feeling or can't get things out of your head. You just, you're wasting sessions and you go through. What are you doing?
Out you get.
I was just saying, like, it, I don't know, you go through a breakup or you have a fight with a family member or friends are mucking around and it's just playing in your head in the background. And if it's comp season, like, you really don't have the time or the space to be dealing with that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's sort of how it was when I first came over to train with you. Like, it was a big shift from being out in the burbs, getting down to the city, going through a split, like no car, no work, not studying, just existing, and it wasn't good. And then we're 6 weeks out from States, and you can find the video, and you sent me it as a meme. It just wasn't very good. It had no prep.
Yeah.
And that was that. It can just play a massive impacting role.
Well, I think I threw a whole season.
From a split.
From back when I was younger, I think 2020 to 2021.
So it's the same season. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're
I
pretty
just
similar.
let stuff affect me, and I pretty much threw it all. Trav didn't want me to go to nationals.
Yeah.
He was worried that I was going to go and just go start this sport. I was like, I'm very aware with how I'm running.
It can lead to that pretty quickly too, where you're just like, nothing's working.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't good. I don't feel good doing this anymore. Get me the hell out.
Yeah. But like, I feel like you need, just like even like a partner, or you need all or nothing. Especially when you're in like the champ sort of side of the season.
What do you mean?
You can't have kind of, say, like relationships just all up in the air and all that.
Yeah.
Stuff that's like messing with your head.
It's tricky.
And all that.
Regular life stuff we can't really put as priority. Like,
yeah. And I feel like if you were to have a partner, you just have to lay it out to them that, you're gonna have to understand this sort of stuff, that there's this, and this that has to be, done. Because a lot of people have, like, I feel like 90% of the people who, like, I'm friends with or whatever, boys and girls, they call me boring and all that sort of stuff. Because I don't go out anymore. Oh, it used to be fun and all that, blah, blah, blah.
No, it used to be reckless. There's a difference.
Yeah. And they just, you need to have someone that understands and that will like sit there.
I wonder if that's the reason a lot of the top dogs have partners that are in the sport. Who was the African American chick that was down for the Maury plant in long jump, and her fella's got the artificial legs? The guy.
I didn't see that.
Damn it.
I think I briefly saw her in like the introduction video or something.
Yeah, she had the pink cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Yes, and her fella. Well, they're both, like, he's a para athlete, and they both go through the same stuff. I'm pretty sure they train together. Omar McLeod was in some of their videos. And, they go through the same experiences. So, they're on par with each other.
Yeah.
The same thing with, like, celebrities too. They're in the same realm. They can, like, mash their brains and it makes sense.
Yeah, like, I had an ex once, about a year or so ago. And she wasn't in the sport as such, but she did a pretty, like high intensity sport as well that required a lot. Obviously, bodybuilding is definitely well up there with, that's down to like every little gram and everything with like meals and all that. And just, you gotta have that strong mindset and all that. And she's very much understood the general like requirements of like sport as a whole. Like, obviously she didn't really know about like the athletic side and all that, but she knew, like, she just understood.
Yep. And that then is where you had somebody that was on par, but then it also reciprocated backwards onto you, where she had to do her thing. and that just went the way it went.
Yep.
It's a bit tricky.
Good. But yeah.
Yeah, I've always been afraid of having a partner in the sport because, like, there's a certain saying, I always forget how it goes, but pretty much, if you're going to be with somebody and they're around everything that you are always around, and then it doesn't work, you're still going to be around them, around everything else that you're always around, and that's just a little bit frightening for me. I don't know how that would go. Good for the mindset when you're together.
I've had those sorts of partners before, but they kind of, I think one of them literally was kind of like starting to only stay in the sport just because I was still in it.
Right.
And she left the sport pretty much straight away after we split.
I think, it comes down to a maturity thing as well, how well it'll actually play out afterwards if they're still around, even though you aren't together.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it definitely plays a major part in all that. Because if you're feeling unmotivated and shit,
well, you've had
everything's a struggle.
Like co-athletes that have had to shift their squads from that sort of thing happening, and it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Keep on keeping on, but you just got to do it in another location.
I'd never leave Trav. Trav's he's like a second dad to me, but he's also not. He's like one of the boys.
He's a funny fella.
Yeah. I am pretty close with Trav. He knows stuff that no one knows.
Oh man.
I thought I'd add this one in, but I don't know. Spikes. I was just jotting it all down.
I thought it said spinach. I can't read that for shit.
Let's talk about spinach. Good sale on Woolies at the moment.
Oh
god. Speaking of spikes, I'm literally I always leave it to the last minute when I need spikes. I don't know if I'm generally like desperate for spikes for say the upcoming meets, but I think I've cracked another plate.
You break them. You need to figure out what's going on. Go to Athlete's Foot and walk on those stupid treadmill things that figure out your foot pattern. Figure it out. You can't.
Well, the thing is, I've never popped I've had 2 pairs of Max Flyers. Everyone pops the bubbles. I just snap the plate.
Yeah, that's still that.
But the thing is, it's right across the whole thing. So, it's just too much power.
Yeah, but then you say that about all the people that are faster than 10.5 and they're not snapping plates.
They're not powerful.
Okay. that doesn't make sense.
Well, Alex snapped a plate. And so, I'm like, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, but like 6 or 7? Probably not.
I think okay, so I've snapped my original Super Flyers. I had 2 pairs that were like my mismatched ones that I snapped. I have Yar Flies that I've snapped. I had the Asics ones that I completely and utterly folded in half. I've snapped my Max Flies, which are pretty much like joggers now.
Nice.
I still train in them at the moment. They are.
Somewhere.
I remember we were in Townsville in 2021 for A&Q, and we got the chance to meet these kids and all that from Northern Territory, and I think Casey and someone else was like, "Oh, you guys might be able to like pass down some spikes and all that." So I was like, "You don't want mine. You don't want mine. Mine are like ripped in half and all that." Because I used them until they're like, there's nothing left.
It's like the old, like what boys always get for Christmas is just like underwear or socks, and it shows a picture of like underwear with just, it's like the band, and it's just pretty much a hole, a big hole, and that's it. And that's what all your spikes are like.
Yeah.
You just sort of push them to the very, very end of their life cycle.
What's your take on super spikes versus your standard plate?
Huh?
Like your super flyers and all that versus like your max flyers, or the super spikes with the foam, the bubble, and all that. Does it do that much?
Well, I've only done 2 races in the supers, and then only recently grabbed
You haven't worn
Max Flyers. Yeah, no, never. From what I've seen, or based on rigidity, you need to train your foot for it. You'd be fine because you're already up at the level where you should be to use them. But if you just come into the sport, I wouldn't chuck on a set of Max Flyers.
That's what I generally say. Now you can get a lot of injuries if you're not strong. If something about like your Achilles, or if your feet aren't strong enough to have them,
Yeah,
you'll end up with a lot of injuries.
It's rebounding force back up into your foot, so you spend less time on the ground. Here, like structures can't take that on.
I feel like a lot of that's gone out the window nowadays, so that like everyone's just got them.
Oh, people just love
the only ones that you can get. The only ones you can get are Max Flies. Really, Adidas are kind of like second. You can kind of get them. I was gonna buy some recently. I wish I did.
What Adidas have them at? Oh, is it still the Adidas?
Yeah, the SP2s.
Yeah,
Alex has got them. You know the green. Okay. They originally came out the green and all that. Noah Lyles ran worlds in them.
Probably.
And all that.
So,
they got a foam pad. Alex reckons he prefers them over the Max Flies. And all that. Then New Balance, I've seen a couple people have them, but the Pumas, no one has. You can't find them anywhere. I always wanted the New Balance ones.
Oh, I thought you meant like nobody's wearing them. Yeah, okay.
Only the pro athlete, like they don't sell them.
Yeah, well, Marcel Jacobs, we'll just call him, has recently left Nike to go over to Puma, so...
I love them though. They're beautiful.
I feel like they're going to pop up a little bit more because of that, so...
Yeah.
See what happens. It's influence.
Definitely.
Yeah.
How even is he going?
He just got second in the world... No, not the world, the European indoor champs to another Italian. But I think Tom's like 6'5".
Was it Tortu?
No, it wasn't him. No, different fellow. Yeah, he's a good looking runner, Tortu. Good looking technique.
All his like,
by the way.
All his like anchor legs that you've seen him run in relays, he's just so like fluent and strong.
Yes, well, yeah, spikes play a big role,
yeah.
And it's important when you're training as well. You know, you can't just sit there in your most firm set of spikes. It's not very good when you're running reps.
Yeah, training and comp definitely comes into it with stuff as well. So the thing is, I always train in my former comp spikes. So when it comes to that, I'm always wearing high-end spikes in training. So that's why if I have a spike that's like brand new, I've had a brand new, like the Yar Flies, they last a month. I literally emailed, I think it was a running company at the Sunshine Coast, I was like, I'm going to send the Max Flies in, like photos, and say like this, they've lasted like 3 races and I've cracked the plate. And then they're like, oh yeah, sure, here, we'll send you out a new pair. I was like, I'm not going to send in the Yar Flies, which I bought from them at the same time as well.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be like, something's up.
Yeah. The way you're putting your foot in the ground, somehow. So yeah. I don't know how.
My Max Flies fold in half, they're a carbon fibre plate.
You could probably roll them up like toothpaste at the moment. Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. Oz Athletics at the moment.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
We were saying before, like, we have a small population, not a lot of media exposure, but we're getting a lot of people coming up and they're just blowing all their old stuff out of the park. It's awesome. I personally mostly pay attention to the hurdlers, and there are a lot of excellent hurdlers at the moment that are just pulling out all the stops on the way to things. I'll always be obsessed with Nick Andrews. We've messaged a few times. Yeah. If this goes anywhere, Nick Andrews, get the hell on here and we can talk. I don't know if you need to be in person or not. Let's do it. And you can try to get Rowan Browning over here because he's
Rowan Browning. One thing I do love about Rowan is he's very well spoken. He's very intelligent.
He's chill dude.
If you're listening to like the interview of like I think it was is it The Project or whatever? Him and Nick Hurley.
Didn't end up watching that.
They were just like they were just pretty much talking, and they're like, so how you feeling? How you feeling, Fred, for this? And he's like, yeah, good, fast, sub 20, good job. See how we go. And then Rowan just like fully gets into it and all that.
Yeah, I don't think Fred likes to give things away, and it's I don't want to say it's an ego thing, but he's definitely building up this very just nothing on the surface kind of character. Just leaves all the talking to the track. That's about it.
Some people also just don't like cameras.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah, it's fair enough. We're doing pretty good today. I didn't think we would get 41 minutes in. This is crazy.
I would have gone for like 10, and we would just pretty much like answer, question, answer, question, answer, question,
we kind of ramble. But yeah, no, we are getting some excellent results out of a lot of the top guys. You're on the way in, which is awesome. People everywhere, they're just going ham.
Legit.
It's really good.
Like even as I was like saying like a couple of years ago, there'd be like one maybe 2 people who go sub 21 in the 200. You could get a bronze with like a 21:20 at nationals a couple of years ago. Now you probably wouldn't even make the final.
So I'm saying people are really stepping it up. There are a lot of
Juniors.
Yeah, the juniors are on fire at the moment as well. All the Cali, was it Cali 2021? Was it last year or the year before that they had World Under 20s?
Last year.
Yeah, well, all those guys, they did fantastically.
Yeah.
That was good to watch.
There's a lot of... Yeah. I don't know who my favourite athlete is. Say Alex.
Oh, yeah.
Him. No. I definitely very much respect Alex. I've always, in a way, like looked up to him, but I've always looked at him as more of like a friend, as opposed to
A rival.
yeah. But when he always like set foot out on the track, I always looked at him as like the athlete that he was. But in training, it was more just like a hey mate, hey,
Yeah.
how you going? Not that we ever talk like that. It's more just like hey, how you going? What?
Wait, what is that?
That's
What's
how
his
he
reaction?
responds.
What, is he just trying to shut you up, or?
I'll rock up to him with small talk. Hey Alex, how's your week been? I'm not going out with you.
Very random.
That's how it goes.
It's gonna be good. I'm excited for all the nonsense,
Yeah.
banter bullshit that's gonna be in this
I
tournament.
do like Browning. I love his form.
Yeah, you quite enjoy it. You always mention
Another
it.
athlete that I've been looking at over the past season, and I think he deserves everything that he gets, is Despard.
Yeah, he's Tasmanian.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's come up out of nowhere. Also seems like a pretty chill and humble guy.
He's definitely putting in the work.
Yeah, for sure, and showing off very well. I feel like I'm having an absolute mind blank about everything that's happened this season because we've had a few good gift races.
Gifts.
Yep. With the T in there, not gifts. Gifts.
Gift races.
Yep.
We ran a gift once.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
We put that video in there.
No, we can't. Those handicaps are nonsense.
They are. You can't go into a gift race and go, this isn't fair. Because the whole aspect of it isn't. Like, you got people who train the hardest for it and all that, are right at the back versus someone who might take it out who hasn't even trained before. And all that. Or, I've even noticed, I think I was at Somerset, my seed time was like 10:07 or something. No, my seed time was like 10:05, his was 10:06 and he was behind me.
What?
Yeah.
How does that work? And so he wasn't able to catch you because they put...
I pulled away from him.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Maybe he didn't... Oh, no, yeah, you said seed time, yeah, okay. I don't know. That just doesn't make sense to me. That'd be really fun to get into, but it's a nice feeling racing on grass, as grueling as it is. It's like...
I hate it. Oh, Malgowie. It started pouring rain. I put a stride. I was at top speed and my foot went straight through the ground. Some of the gifts I've done are stupid. I've been lucky to like come out of them like injury free. The Kilcoy recently. Ipswich was lovely. I like Ipswich. A lot of people go like, oh shit and all this. I was like, I like the main straight.
I remember
didn't put a foot wrong.
Looking at the inside lane at Ipswich and it looked like a motocross track. It was so lumpy and bumpy. It was ridiculous.
That's what I had because I started off the track in the Ipswich gift in August last year.
Off the track?
I was off the track.
Oh, like behind the line start. Yeah, okay.
Because you know how they used to have it on the bend? So I
Yeah.
think they only have a 1... No, they have a 110. But the reason they have it around the bend is because obviously gifts are generally 120s.
So it was a 120 that you and I, ran
And
it.
I ran off 116, I think. Yeah, 4 metres. It's a 4 metre mark. But yeah.
Alright, what are we up to?
International athletes. Oh, that's all over the place nowadays. I feel like the focus has kind of gone everywhere as, you know, you don't notice it as much. You didn't used to notice it as much a couple of years ago when Bolt was around.
Yeah,
Because all eyes were on Bolt.
It was
You didn't notice like Tyson Gay go out the window. No one noticed really Blake, kind of disappear.
Yeah, he's still pushing, but it's a whole new era, and even the couple of years after Bolt finished up to now, like since the Olympics and even 2019 World Champs, like things have really changed. And yeah, as you were saying, because the big guy isn't around anymore, it's just a whole new ball game. It's anybody's game, really.
Yeah. Say, look at Noah Lyles. He is in his own way in a class of his own.
Yeah.
But like, a lot of the top 8 athletes are kind of like all over the place. I feel like something was up with the USA athletes in Tokyo. Like, someone told me something about like the flights or the week leading up to it and all that. So you look at like Brumell, fastest man in the world, didn't make the final. Even though like Curly was like 3rd.
He was world lead that year. Brumell, hey, he did like a 9.7. He ran his PB, I'm pretty sure, that year, leading up to the Olympics.
9.78 or something.
Something like that. Yeah, crazy.
It's kind of quick.
Yeah, it's weird. It was the first year really that the world could actually get out and be the world again, kinda. So
a great athlete comes every 10 years. It's very split at the moment. You don't see the double happening anytime soon.
It was even a shock watching Marcel Jacobs go the 100 at Olympics and then World Indoor 60. Like I don't think there's many athletes ever that have done that. It's like not even 5, I'm pretty sure. We should find
who have done both.
Yeah, like one and then the other.
Coleman's done world golds in both.
Yeah, but not back to back.
Yeah.
I don't think, or maybe he did.
He kind of came out of nowhere, Marcel.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, yeah, if he was running like not even sub 10 coming into the Olympics and ran a 9.8, it's like, that's crazy. That's what you call peaking right there. That's good timing.
I don't know how I felt about the Olympics. It was just all over the place.
That was tricky, they were competing in front of no crowds. It was weird. Strange.
Work and training.
Well, this is probably good for you because you're about to make a pretty big transition. I've already made my transition last year and it's made things work pretty well, so I'll let you go first, I suppose.
What do you mean in terms of transition?
Well, aren't you changing sort of what you're...
No, that's generally just in terms of... so pretty much my days are more going to be probably less occupied.
Okay, which is probably what you need.
Yeah, it's a part of the reason why I am transitioning to comms only. So I'm a commercial real estate agent, which is a very it's not a 9 to 5, it's beyond that.
Yeah.
If you want to be great.
You're not paid to work a certain time, you're just paid to work. That's it. It's like you're always working, it sounds like.
Yeah. So that's more what I'm transitioning. So like I have like my wage right now, and then I have comms on top of that. But there's a thing in real estate which is commission only. So what that is you get a bigger piece of the pie, but you only get paid per deal.
Yeah.
So
but you for a while.
But you don't you're not tied to the office. See, I could wake up at 2 a.m, train, be in the office at 4, work till say 8, go do whatever I need to do, go back to the office for a bit, train, and then go to the office again. That's probably a bit much. See, that'd be fine though. But it's got to be a lot easier. And especially with stuff like maintenance and all that for sport, being able to, because like nowadays I have to like pretty much like fit in with, see a lot of masseuses and all that, they only go throughout the day.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky to have like say like you or even like Alex who have been on like a Sunday. To be able to even like get that. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd have to be like, oh, I have an appointment, I got to go do this.
Yeah, pretty much.
And your maintenance is generally got to be like every fortnight at least.
Realistically, every human that is either training or working, which most adults are doing some kind of both, you need that kind of routine to keep your body moving properly. Otherwise, you get into bad habits and you just, you don't use it, you lose it. And yeah, that's what I tell a lot of my clients actually at work. I need to see you monthly for a little bit until you get yourself back on track, and then we'll monitor it from there.
Yeah. It is draining what I do.
Yeah.
Everything in my life though is by choice.
Yep.
So it's not like I complain about what I do.
We do what we want to we do what we do because we actually want to do it.
Yeah. But what's so draining about what I do? I don't think about it because you can't think about something. It's like something that Alex says, which I agree with. If it doesn't hurt, it doesn't hurt. If it's not draining, it's not draining. Meaning if you're not thinking about it, it's not there. Really, so what I put in is what I get.
It's not really torn. Okay.
What I put in is what I get out with both work and training. See, if I was to sit around the office all day and twiddle my thumbs, I'm going nowhere in life.
Yeah.
But it's same with training. If I'm just to run 90% sessions at 50%, I'm not going to run fast.
No, that's right. I think that's been frustrating for me getting back into all of this. I've had to take it easy, and now hopefully after Tuesday we're all good to go and we can come back and do it properly and
definitely
give 100% every session. Work and training. This leads back to how we're talking about sponsorships and how these guys are all, they're pretty much getting paid to train and paid to compete. We're not at that level yet. Yes, you've got a bit of sponsorship and help, but generally most people in the sport are working and providing for themselves, or they have certain little bits and pieces, but generally they're their main supply of how they're getting through everything.
Yeah. So that's their job. It'd be so much easier to nail everything.
Yeah.
If that's all you did.
That's right. Take my roommate Lance. He's a FIFO worker, and Casey recently reposted one of his stories where I gave him the idea of whacking a set of blocks on a yoga mat for grip, because all he's got is a concrete strip out at the mines to do his blocks on.
Is that your idea?
Yeah. Well, he wanted to know what to put on there. Beatboxing while he's exploding out. And that's just one of those things. You got to do what you got to do, and if you got to provide for yourself in that manner, that's just how it goes. I'm finding it good with my job. We have 4 hours AM, 2 hour break, 4 hours PM, and I generally have 2 of those days a little bit shorter in the PM to get out to the track. And those guys are brilliant to me for that. But I sacrifice my Saturday to just have Monday off, and that way I can go do my other adult stuff and get appointments done. And
you definitely need the weekday. A weekday.
Yeah, it's cool because while we're at work, everywhere else is open and it's working, and if you don't have that time to get out and do things, you're just stuck getting behind. A very physical job, but I enjoy it, and the fact that I have the 2 hour break, I get to do my gym session in a couple of those days, and always have plenty of recovery time to eat and sleep and but I think ideally I will have to learn to get out and do things on my own. That way I really have a full structure, and just make it a little bit easier. That'll be another thing as well. I spoke to Casey about it briefly, setting up a table at some of the Shield meets where where I'm not competing. Obviously I'm not going to mix work with play. That's a little bit
Can you fix
tricky.
me before I run fast?
Fix you before you run fast?
Yeah.
Okay. That'll sort of give me an idea of doing things on my own and just working for myself in that manner.
Definitely.
I don't know how Cusack will go with letting me do that, but we'll talk to them and see what we can
there
pull.
with a sign with a bit of chalk on it. Free massage.
Free? Hey man.
Everyone just lines up around the venue for the
Every athlete,
yeah. Alright, so I think we'll wrap it up there. This went for a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah, we hit an hour?
Yeah.
6 minutes.
Yeah, so thanks for watching if anyone actually reached this distance.
Well, you've got a lot of editing to do.
Oh, we'll just throw the thing in.
Whack it on YouTube.
Yeah, just
you want
straight
a
as
whole
is.
hour.
Yeah. Alright, we'll be back soon, and I hope you enjoyed. And goodbye. Thanks for coming in, Ant. Even though you'll probably join me for everyone. Alright, see you later.